Namaste. The, the question is about sensitivity, or as some people would say, hypersensitivity. And generally, it is believed that it is a kind of weakness. And the logical conclusion is we should be thick skinned people. Now, this is a retrogression. Sensitivity is definitely a gift. It's like becoming a wire in place of a stone. You can't take music out of stone, but wires can be arranged in such a way that you can take music out of it. So, sensitivity is a stage of evolution from the crude towards the sublime. Now, crude is what? Crude, insensitive means one is so dull, so indifferent, that one doesn't understand unless there is a big blow or there is a shaking up with desires. Some people don't feel they are alive unless they hear very loud, violent music, or there is a lot of. When they quarrel, they feel there is love. When they fight, they feel, I am now anger, living. So human nature doesn't understand when it is in a state of insensitivity. Insensitivity is dullness. Insensitivity is tamas. It's not a good state to be in. Then tamas, rajas, gun goes away and one climbs further. There is a refinement. Now there is a phase when one becomes sensitive. Now people use the word hypersensitive, but it's nothing to do with hyper, is a relative word. Sensitive means our nervous system begins to pick up cues and clues, which are an insensitive person will not pick up. Like to give an example, for a insensitive person, you have to say in as many words to make the person understand. Sometimes not say in as many words, hammer the fact. But a sensitive person, as they say in Hindi, आँखों का इशारा ही काफी है. Isn't it? A little gesture of the eyelid, a little word, a little understand, because sensitive. So you pick up things. But equally you pick up other things also. Why did you not respond? Now the other person may be just very indifferent. He's insensitive. So you can't blame the other person for that. So what is to be done is not to go back. It's not possible to go back. Sensitivity is a stage through which we have to pass. That's the stage when you begin to feel vibrations, good vibrations, bad vibrations. It's a mixed, it's still ignorance. But our system begins to become responsive to certain cosmic forces which are working in the whole universe. And the nervous system therefore become very vulnerable, because sensitive people can become prone to migraines, they become prone to all kinds of aches and pains because they are picking up from the environment things which otherwise are not there. Now what to do beyond, now it's not really weakness, but it's a kind of openness to all kinds of forces. So what to do now? There are 2-3 things. One is that we must become impersonal. The wider and impersonal you become, the lesser you will suffer. Sensitivity, when it is personal, can be very painful. Why? Because I'm picking up things only with reference to myself. But impersonal means I'm picking up things, but I'm referring them to something much higher, much greater, so that their truth can be seen. So there are 2 stages. When we are very sensitive, first step is to get rid of this personal element in, the ego which attaches itself and makes things very worse. Every little gesture is with regard to me. Somebody is praising me. Somebody is criticizing me. That person may not have even bothered, just gone away, walked, saying a word. It's not me at this. So this creates a lot of pain. So learn to separate. And then, as the passage that you spoke about in Collected Works of the Mother, Volume 2, is it there? I think it is from there. That passage where she speaks about the sensitivity. It's elsewhere. So it's separate places she has spoken about. Now, in that phase, now, because sensitivity is still a field of ignorance, you enter into certain fields which you think are true, but they turn out to be illusions because you are hurt, easily hurt. Example, you felt this is perfect love. But now, a sensitive person, very difficult to love. Because, it's especially in reference to emotions. One is very easily hurt. Insensitive person, it doesn't matter. One will not even know whether all your life you have loved or not loved. The person is very happy. Because doesn't know. But sensitive person will picking up every little gesture, every little this thing. So you get hurt. So when you get hurt, it helps in the sense that you say, no, it is not this. So some people become disillusioned with life. And they end up in that stage, they almost become cynics, skeptic about anything good or high or true or beautiful, and they give up on life as it is because they're extremely sensitive. They find ways and means, eventually, they can even take towards the route towards nirvana. But that's not what we are here for. Now, when you get rid of the illusion, again, there is something real and true which we don't see. You have tried it in one way, it didn't work out. Why? Because it was not tried in the true way. True way is always from within outward. True way is from above downwards. True way is from the divine consciousness, from the depth to the surface. This is the true way. So one has to try it in another way, till finally all the illusion, you discover the truth which was behind the illusion. Which means you have to become more and more impersonal, wide, enduring, because otherwise one will not try. There are people who get hurt and then they just shrink from life. Sometimes they become nervous wrecks. It's a very unfortunate thing. But that's not the path. So become impersonal, become wide. Stop seeing things with regard to that everything is because in reference to me. You know what levels it can go to? It can literally make people crazy. There are people who, especially sitting where I sit, I come to know, they say, 50. And I'm telling you not about ordinary human being. Okay, let me give you an example of somebody who has been living in a ashram for 30, 40 years. And would not go out and see a cinema, would always wear only the cloth which is given. All this the person is doing. But going through a phase of depression. Nobody knows why. Some people think, no, this is a very exalted stage of indrawnness. Doesn't speak to anyone, doesn't smile. But someone like me is very sensitive to smile. Not smiling means something is amiss. So after probing, you discover that there is such a dark world inside which has developed. What is that dark world? 20 years back, I have been doing some mistakes. And now I suffer the burden of guilt. And my friend knew about it. And he has told everybody, see what people will think about me. Now see what is happening now. Where is the flaw? What people will think about me. So even in spiritual consciousness, it's still to look like a sadhak, which is very different from being a sadhak. I must look like one. My surface, my outer nature must be such that people should get impressed by my show and sham, pretension. And when that illusion is broken, then it is very painful. Now there are several examples I am aware of, where it can be very painful. People who project their own fears onto others. Oh, this happened to me. Now everybody in the department knows about it. So you ask them, how do people know? No, they know it. X knew about it, told Y, Z. Now so many trails. How are you going to track all that? So let's take a transpersonal standpoint. This extremely limited personal standpoint with a very sensitive nervous system is very painful stage. So widen and offer this sensitivity to the Lord. Become sensitive about the earth, about humanity. They'll change it into compassion instead of personal suffering. Let me give an example. You're hurt emotionally because somebody didn't respond the way you expected the person to respond. Isn't it? That's one of the common cause. Now, one way is, see, I am foolish, I am ignorant, I am very nice, but the world is like this. One will not learn. Because one has already started on a wrong premise. Another way is, oh, love and all this doesn't exist. It's illusion. Only way is, turn away from this world. Love only God who is somewhere high up above. But there is another way. And what is that other way? When you experience this hurt, emotional hurt in love, you say that maybe I need to change myself and learn to love truly. Why am I still hurt? Why am I still vulnerable? As Mother says, love without expectation, you will touch the core of divine love which is inside. It doesn't matter then whether the other person loves you or not. It becomes yoga in its own right. So one looks at that, the expectation was there and this wideness comes. There is an impersonality. You are no more, in fact, you can go to a stage where you no more love a person, but you love the God of love. There is a very interesting prayer of Mother. Oh Lord of beauty, how many times I have violated against you. Law of beauty, she is invoking. What is the law of beauty? Harmony. Whenever we do something which is disharmonious, it's not about you and me. There is the Lord of harmony, Mitra, as it is called in the Vedic pantheon, or in Sri Aurobindo's terminology, Mahalakshmi. What does she do? When we are full of hatred and all these things, she withdraws behind. We have hurt her. It is not about a human being. Forget about that. So we can make it very vast. Look at the principle of love. When this happens, when you are hurt, what should be the thought? Love is still so imperfect. Humanity needs it. It suffers because it's not there. So what then will be the next approach? Let me open to perfect love. Let me try to manifest this possibility of divine love and let me share it with all. When very interesting line in Savitri, when Savitri finds Satyavan, they come back. Have you thought what is next going to be their life? Satyavan has come back. Mission accomplished. No. There is a very remarkable line. And the lines are, let us give joy to all, for joy is ours. Not for our lonely self, our spirits came. Because this earth suffers. Make your individual suffering into cosmic suffering. That's the difference between Buddha and others. People were falling sick, they were dying, they were growing old, but everybody thought, oh, I am sick. Oh, I am growing old. Oh, my death is approaching. What did Buddha think? Buddha also saw it. He didn't think that one day I will have disease, let me find a good insurance claim. No. Buddha said, oh, there is disease on this planet Earth. Is there a way I can find the cure for it? Because so many people fall ill, so many of them suffer. And he found his own remedy, whatever it be. Not a perfect remedy, but at that age probably mankind was ready only for that. So turn your individual suffering into cosmic pain to understand. That's what is there in Savitri, that she turned her own pang into the cosmic pang. Why it is there? Then you realize something very interesting. You realize it's because of imperfection of matter. Even if inwardly you have grown, you have developed inner equanimity and learned to separate, your outer nature will still be vulnerable until the supramental change. It's only supramental change which can annihilate the difficulties of matter. But yes, it's good to practice all these equanimity and all are very good to help one to, get rid of the sting of pain, intense suffering. But it's not the ultimate cure, it's a passage. Ultimate cure is when this surface nature and matter itself changes. Till then, you can separate yourself from suffering. You can impersonalize. You can become wide. You can offer it to the divine. So many things. When you offer to the divine, then that suffering becomes a means for progress. This is the difference. Whereas when we turn back in hurt and say, oh, I am hurt, X has hurt me, then there is no progress. Because you'll go to Y and Y will also hurt you. Then you will say, oh, Y has hurt me. Then you'll go to Z. Then finally you will say, world is bad, everybody is bad. I know how to love, nobody knows how to love. So instead of doing that, turn X has hurt, turn it toward the divine offer. And then you say this X will be returned with X to the power of X. X is the unknown in algebra, isn't it? So it comes with the power of X. Then you learn something about love. And then you express it in this world. That is the approach that people who are into yoga should take. Otherwise, ordinary life, we are hurt, we become cynics, we go here, there. At the end of life, we accept certain things. That's a different route. But for the yogin, this is the route. To transform suffering into its equivalent of delight. To transform illusion into the truth that it represents. To extract that grain of gold which is buried inside a whole heap of dust. All right? So we'll stop here. Thank you.